It's time to challenge the battle theater. Loomian Legacy, the game that makes you go, hey look, Roblox Pokemon. Yeah, most of you know the story by now. And after playing through the game in its entirety back in 2019, I can say that it's not only faithful to what it used to be, but even surpasses the quality of its previous iteration. And while sitting down with deceased corpses all over my room, I thought to myself, what have I done? And also that why don't we increase the spectacle of this game with a challenge? You read the title, so you already know what we're doing. There are some rules I want to establish first. 1. If it's a bug type, it must be picked up. 2. Any other types can be collected as long as it's still a bug type. And 3. Every Loomian must be nicknamed. I'm gonna be for real, I added that to be funny. Alright, we've got everything ready, so let's get this over with. Can you beat Loomian Legacy with only bug types? I feel like I should add something here, but if I say anything out of turn, the Pokemon gym leader that's holding me hostage will probably pull the trigger. Wait, did I just... Wait. Our story starts in Mitis town, where some scary Ender Dragon shit is going on. But who cares about any of that? After the weather forecast, I named myself, and headed over to the dig site. After some exposition, we make our way to the Loomian Center, and god damn it, it's not a bug type. Alright, pack it up fellas, better luck next time, video over. Jokes aside, I chose the plant type because it's weak against bug types, which will make it easier for us to catch the bugs without accidentally killing them. I named it Die because it's gonna die soon. Anyway, I grabbed some supplies from the back and now we can finally begin. After one failed attempt, I encountered a wild Cathorn. The Loomian is just a bug type, so obviously fits the criteria of what we're looking for. So ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Schweppes the Cathorn. I like Schweppes. However, there's a problem here. You see, the Fevian we have is at level 5, and the Cathorn we have is currently at level 2. So we need to grind and get this bug to— Motherfucker, is that Super Saiyan? After some light grinding in a trainer battle, I got him to level 5. So let's head to Gale Forest and find some new recruits. The first thing I did before even entering the forest was heal up my Loomians and release Fevian. I am now a true bug type Loomian trainer. Little nasty motherfucker. After getting some heads up from an old man, I did some searching and I found a grubby which I named Patrick. I got the grubby to fight a little, but as of right now it's pretty defenseless. So I had it pop in and out of battles to avoid long sessions of grinding. I also came across a Pyder which I named Mayday, if you know, you know. But before we even fight Duskit, there's a bit of a to-do list we need to complete. We already completed one of the tasks, that being to get more Loomians, but we still need to evolve our Schweppes into a Prope, buy some more gear like meds and Loomi discs, and we also need to make sure we have more than one Loomian that can fight. Especially when you find one of the rarest things in the entire game and you have no choice but to kill it because you're doing a dumbass challenge. I managed to complete these tasks in a short amount of time. And as for the Pyder, I had it benched so he can level up while I focused on Patrick and Schweppes. Bro, what was that sentence? For real. I also found an Antsy, which is a plant and bug type, so this will definitely come in handy. I named it Leafy Boy. After a couple trainer battles, I geared up and it was finally time to fight the Guardian Spirit, Duskit. Now at first this fight looked like a cakewalk. I gotta just spam bug bite until it fucking dodged it and now my health is draining. This isn't good. I managed to get a couple hits with both of my bugs, but the Duskit was powerful enough to not only damage them viciously, but also take the life of a beloved comrade. The only thing I could do at this point was hope for a miracle.
Oh my god, I'm cooked. No way. No. Let's go, Patrick for the win. Why did I name him Patrick?
We've done it. All thanks to Patrick's... After the battle, my dad... Man, you're not my dad! Told me to head to the battle theater. So, I set off on my journey with some new goals. It's time for these two to shine. After leaving the forest and healing my Loomians, it was time to leave Chesmatao. Who in the fuck? These three aren't important until later though, so I'll talk about them at the proper time. Anyway, after sitting through the most boring and unnecessary conversation, I don't give a shit. I left Chestnut Town and headed into Route 2. And now I have a master plan. Call me the Eggman. In Route 2, there's a Loomi boost in a crate. Now, Loomi boost can be used for all kinds of purposes, and in this specific instance, we're going to double the amount of XP earned for 20 minutes straight. And Route 2 is filled with a bunch of opportunities to earn massive amounts of XP. There are 4 trainers here and a bunch of different Loomians to fight. Anyway, time to unveil the plan. Once I activated the boost, the strategy was to approach fights with separate methods. For trainer battles, I will switch fighters for every Loomian the trainer brings out. And for the wild encounters, I will switch Loomians for every hit. And after grinding for 20 minutes straight, ya Allah, a couple things happened. First, I managed to get each of my Loomians to around the same level. And second, once he reached level 11, Pratchett turned into a... And I think all of this effort paid off massively. But will this newfound power be enough to get us through the battle theater? Well, the video's out, so obviously, yeah. Now, before even starting, I made a bit of an oopsie. I went into the theater without any healing items whatsoever. So you can imagine that I was freaking the fuck out. But I eventually came across something funny which gave me a level head.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo.
Anyway, the first thing I had to do was a simple puzzle and yo, what is that music? I solved the puzzle with ease and it was now time to face our first trainer, who started with a Schweppes completely annihilated him. He then whipped out an eaglet, which is weak against plant types, so I got Leafy Boy to handle the situation. Overall, pretty simple first part, even if Leafy Boy took some major damage. After another mind-boggling puzzle, how do you do this bullshit? The second trainer came with ambition and also started with same situation here. However, he then brought out his Vambat. I see what you did there. It took me a while to take him down because he was a level higher than me, and each of my Loomians took significant damage. Mayday cleaned it up eventually though. I also got another boost token and 2 power foods, which are basically Loomian steroids. Definitely getting used later. Alright, the second round was significantly riskier than the first. Each of our Loomians took some damage, and since I didn't buy heals for shock value, I had to fight Naya with a damaged team. Speaking of Naya, the final round was okay, the best way to describe it is with this clip.
Jesus Christ.
She started out with a Geklo, which in the previous encounters wasn't a problem, but this Geklo outsped me and damaged me ludicrously. I tried to give all my bugs a good chance, but Leafy Boy was damaged and his reptile felt like a brick wall. But with the power of responsibility, Mayday took him down eventually. I then had to deal with another Geklo, and this one was 2 levels higher than me and almost killed the squad. However, Leafy Boy proved why you should eat your vegetables. That was horrible. Naya's final Loomian was a Kleptyke. I tried to get Mayday to finish this, but the damn cat killed her. Luckily, she still got her to low health. My only hope at this point was Leafy Boy, who had low energy after a bug bite. I had a choice. I could either risk dying for a final hit, or just switch out and probably get killed either way. But, even after standing on one leg, Leafy Boy truly proved why you should eat your vegetables. I think it was a lot better this time.
Oh my god, Leafy Boy came in clutch, bro. Imagine if I had switched out. Oh my god. Leafy Boy, you lifesaver. Oh my. I need to take a dookie.
After walking out of the battle theater as proud as can be, I headed back into Route 3 to see what Naya wanted to give me. I think Naya likes me. However, upon entering the cave, I was met with something else. Again, this person isn't relevant until later, so let's just continue with the story. His name is not important, he said so himself. His first Loomian was an N-Pit, which my bugs did struggle against, but Patrick poisoned him and he eventually passed on. His next Loomian was a, oh my god, a Geklo, oh my god. I tried to haunt it by reminding him of his deceased brethren, and I did this by using Leafy Boy for the whole fight. And because I used Take Root, which allows Leafy Boy to heal after every turn, I killed Geklo with no problem whatsoever. I did not struggle at all, do not ask me anything. Anyway, he left. Friggin' Shadow the Hedgehog looking at. Naya showed up shortly after and told the construction worker to get out of here. She gave me a new flash thingy on my watch, which will be used for, I think it's one thing. Anyway, it's finally time to wave Sylvan City goodbye and head into Route 4. The second I exited the doors, I was met with another distraction. Hey, I remember these guys. We have Lucy, the closet furry. She's a furry, trust me. Lucas. Bro looks like off-brand Meliodas, and the leader of the 3 musketeers, the musketeer without a musket, Mabel. What? Lucy's first Loomian was a fan cub, or as I like to call it, bitch. Schweppes was very weak against it, so I tried to let Leafy Boy handle this. But, so Mayday fought the fan cub. They got both Leafy Boy and Mayday to a devious amount of HP. Luckily, I had some meds this time and Mayday poisoned him. After a bit of a struggle, Mayday landed the killing blow. Her next Loomian was a Kleptyke, which Schweppes destroyed. Lucas's first Loomian was a Kabunga, which is weak against bug types, but this specific Kabunga was stubborn and that I kept using dodge, which just drained my energy. But Patrick took care of it with relative ease. Good job, buddy. The second Loomian was again with the Geklo. How many people have this? This green menace lowered Leafy Boy's health to less than half and almost killed Mayday. But we all know Mayday's the goal. She killed him. Anyway, after Team Rocket blasted off again, I was finally able to enter Route 4. I fought a couple trainers, one of which having... I'm not gonna put up with this. Route 4 was experiencing smoldering heater on this time, which lowers the energy cost of moves for bug types. But I didn't do much here aside from get a couple burn gels and give the power foods to Mayday and Schweppes. I headed into Route 5 and got into a trainer battle, but they kicked my ass, so I left the game. I had to eat. But I rejoined later that day and I think I had gone insane at the time. I genuinely thought that since there were severe thunderstorms in Route 4, I would find Nimvolt in 2 encounters. If you're unaware, Nimvolt is one of the rarest book types. Speaking of rarity, I am going to blow up a hospital. Anyway, it's time to progress. After an old monk requested help, I took it upon myself to challenge all his corrupting friends and save the day. But there's an issue looming over us, and it has been since the journey started. You see, Igneus Hollow is dominated by fire types, and if you know anything about RPGs, you know that fire is strong. Even if we have all the healing items in the world, our silly little bug types just can't compete. Stop looking at the runtime. And there isn't really a workaround for this problem. This was such a deterrent that it made me want to scrap the video entirely and just cry in the corner. I was lost. Which is what I would be saying if our gold Schweppes didn't reach level 17 and evolve into a behemoth. Introducing Schweppes the Cinnamoth, complete with a brand new move called Mystic Breeze. Look at my goat. Spread your wings, brother. Literally, and with this lovable monster, I steamrolled all the competition. I mean, Mayday did a few things, but still. After saving all the monks and freeing them from their prison, I had a new mission to embark on. God damn it, stop giving me a count. The next thing I had to do was enter the Pagoda and investigate the strange happenings. There were a couple things I had to do. Those things being to battle one of the corrupted monks, and then get the hint to press the buttons in the correct order to solve the puzzle. I'm not gonna go into detail about each fight, aside from one of the monks having none of them were interesting and none of them gave me a run for my money. Anyway, after solving this stupid puzzle, I had to face another corrupted Loomian, Ikozune. And it killed our whole team, okay? Clearly our team isn't strong enough to face it yet. So it's time to whip out our most valuable resource. Splash! Cue the obligatory widescreen for visualizations. The gang has lost a bit of its balance. Currently, Schweppes is at level 20, while everyone else is not even close to that. So it's time for All Reliable. Add 2 boost tokens this time around so you can imagine how our bugs would be in the future. After 40 minutes of excessive grinding, here are the results. When Patrick reached level 18, he evolved into a Terrafly. Massive boost in power compared to the Virgin Cornucopia. I ended up with all 3 of them becoming level 19. Schweppes remained the same because he wasn't my main priority. Anyway, with our new and improved team, it was time to prove our worth to Ikozune. Hey, I found an image this time. The battle started with some trouble. We're already at a disadvantage since bug types are weak against fire types, but Ikozune not only damaged Schweppes but paralyzed him. But I had a paralysis potion, and thanks to Schweppes' mystery toxins, Ikozune fell asleep. If this didn't happen, I would have probably died. I switched out Schweppes for Patrick, and while he does a good amount of damage, he almost died. Same with Mayday, and Leafy Boy, and Schweppes. Nah, I'm just playing. He was at low health, but Schweppes pulled through and killed it. Thank God. The next thing on the bucket list was to challenge the battle theater. But there are 3 important disclaimers with this theater. 1. We are at a severe disadvantage every second. Bug types are weak against fire. 2. Burn gels are mandatory. Luckily, I had more than enough. And 3. Leafy Boy is cooked, like he's f***ing dead. Plant types are very weak against fire types. Sasuke said it himself. Wait, Sasuke?
What the f... It's Sakura and Sasuke. What? What the f... It's Sasuke and Hold on. What the hell? And they got the Sakura tree. Oh, that makes sense, bro. That... Wait a second. Bro, it's fucking Naruto. Oh my... Hold on, you better start your village. Just watch me. Oh, that's fitting. That's so fitting, bro. It's Naruto. It's Naruto.
I had a good amount of heals this time, but that doesn't guarantee our success. Look, as much as I want to over-traumatize this theater like I did with the previous one, this was easy as hell. The puzzles were somehow easier than the first theater. I don't know how you managed that, but whatever. The first trainer started with an M-bit and it didn't attack me once, so Patrick just killed it. The second Loomian was a rat burn, and Schweppes took care of it easily. Are you gonna cut the scene? No. No! Don't you dare! Don't you dare! The second trainer was a monk. After I saved all your homeboys, I should have just stayed home. His first Loomian was a Scalava, and Schweppes had some trouble, so Mayday handled things. He then brought out a cradle, and Patrick also killed it. How do I make this sound entertaining? The battle star was a Kyo, and he pulls out another cradle, and Mayday killed it. Next was a Wisp Up, and Schweppes killed it. I'm falling asleep writing this shit. But then, something interesting finally happened. Akio's last Loomian was... Krakalawa. It almost killed Schweppes and Patrick, but I had a healing item and then it died. Okay, never mind. That was boring as hell. Please cue the transition screen. Oh, Buster Brown, this one was a doozy. I have never said that in my fuck. There was a lot of huge things that happened during this specific part of the game. So let's just clear the table and start small. Upon entering Route 6, I encountered some trainers, learned about rallies, and just kinda messed around. I entered Route 7 and for whatever reason, Llama Train Studio thought, hey fellas, what if we put like 70 trainers here? What do you think? I had to suffer through a bunch of battles, but it was all worth it for one specific reason. I headed into the Sephirite junkyard and after some searching, I found... Finally! No. While the new bug type is definitely a positive, we need to go through the stats. Baroach is a roach. Wow, such a detailed description. It's an earth and bug type, and since metal types are weak against earth types, we have a huge advantage against almost every Loomian here. Here, look, I'll even show you.
I'm supposed to have a rock here.
But our new friend is at level 17, so we obviously have some work to do. In any case, I caught it and named it Coca-Cola. Is this funny? I can't tell if this is funny. I did most of my grinding off screen because I'm making this whole thing on a laptop and my system storage will probably set on fire.
What the Again? It's Goku and Trunks!
By the end of it, there were a lot of developments. Coca-Cola reached level 20, but more importantly, our beautiful children became grown-ups. Mayday evolved into a soldier, and Leafy Boy evolved into a Florent. And this is also extremely important. It seems my luck when it came to rare Loomians finally paid off, because I also caught a Vari. If you're unfamiliar, Vari is Loomian Legacy's equivalent of Eevee from the Pokemon franchise. Vari can evolve into any type depending on the circumstance. For example, if Vari levels up in Arenado Trench, an area mostly comprised of water, it'll evolve into Hydrolin, a water type, and we can get this to turn into a bug type. All we need is a Florent, which we have.
And if you don't get your dumb ass into this...
I named it Disobedient because of the clip you just saw. I benched it and saved it for when you were gonna evolve it. But as of right now, we have a huge amount of exposition to get through. Well, if it ain't the Three Musketeers. I had to fight them again, and Lucas's first two Loomians were light work. However, his third Loomian was... I would like to apologize for my actions earlier. This last fight was a huge waiting game. Mayday poisoned it and none of my attacks really did anything, so I had to wait for the poison to drain him. Once he got to low health, Coca-Cola killed him. Lucy's first Loomian was her new and improved Phantom, and considering how much of a struggle it was previously, this is definitely going to be a hard battle. It fell asleep and Coca-Cola killed it. Her next Loomian was Wimport and it wasn't too difficult. Little did I know. Her last Loomian was a Ragoon and Shrebs did his thing. After that whole scuffle, I got invited to do some investigations with my new friends. Yes, I have friends. I don't have to use character AI.
Yeah, back again, huh? Bro, it's the androids, bro. Why does this keep happening? What the fuck? Bro, I
met with the gang and made another new friend. His name is Jake and he's very attractive. After a very long and very drawn out tour, it was finally time to face the battle theater.
Is that Grandpa Max?
This theater was definitely harder than the second, but not by a wide margin. The first puzzle was easy, and the first trainer had nothing but poo trolls. Coca-Cola straight up killed all three of them. The second puzzle was a little confusing, but I pulled through. The second trainer started with his Terichi, and Coca-Cola destroyed it. The next one was another Rimpor, and Leafy Boy handled it. The third puzzle was a goddamn enigma. It took me a while to figure it out. The battle star was false and the Loomian was, oh my lord! Coca-Cola did some decent damage, but due to the high level gap, it wasn't enough. Swift used his mystery toxins to poison the Much Wheel and then took it down. False's second Loomian was a Concredon, and Coca-Cola was essentially useless. Thankfully, it put itself to sleep. What the hell? While it did heal after every turn, our boy, Leafy Boy, oh my god, the final Loomian was a Stratosaur. This thing killed the shit out of Leafy Boy, rest in peace. I tried to get Mayday to fight it, but she ain't stand a chance, so she dropped the poison and dipped. Patrick got it to low health, but what goes around comes around. Thankfully, it died before I could switch out. Meanwhile, Jake sneaked into the big bad corporation and learned the true intentions of its CEO. He then left to relay the info to me and my friends. Anyway, the crewmate from among us. First, I needed to evolve my Vari. To do that, I had to use a Florent. When another player checks his bond and it's perfect, it releases pollen. Sending Vari through the pollen and checking his bond makes it evolve. Our plan was to trade Vari to an alt account, bring him back into Sephirite City, and evolve it into Buzzolin, a bee-deer hybrid. He's just a bug type, nothing special, but at least I got a funny conversation out of it. Anyway, the current mission is to head to POLUT Corp. On my way inside, Jake was getting chased down but still gave me the keycard to enter. It's time for Operation Infiltrate the big thing with the big boys. Yes. Okay, so first I had to give a guard sushi so he could take it.
Bro, it's Robin and Starfire, bro. Like, at this point, what's next? Am I gonna see Beast Boy and Cyborg?
Afterwards, I entered the building and I had to fight through a bunch of guards and stuff. Usually, I would just use Coca-Cola to bulldoze through everything, but a fun fact about the POLUT Corp. Everyone here has a score, and if this Loomian has hover, Earth-type moves have no effect on it. Moving on, I had to grab a keycard from one of the scientists' bags to progress. On the way, Coca-Cola evolved into what the f is that? After putting multiple people out of a job, I reached the final area and there stood the evil CEO, Dr. Vanta, and his underlings. And since his dog ass wouldn't listen to reason, it was time to face the third corrupted Loomian, Pagoda. This fight was abysmal. I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. Sweps died, Patrick died, Leafy Boy died, and Coca-Cola died. But this is why you don't doubt the Bug Gang. They all dealt individual damage as I switched out, and with poison slowly draining its health, Mayday had the opportunity to finish Protogon off, using the power of its fallen comrades. I am so proud of this team. After that whole fiasco, Dr. Vanta escaped while promising that we would rule the day that we opposed his company. I don't believe him. Now, before we enter Route 8, we need to adjust our team a little bit. The main Loomian type in the next 3 areas are Water type, which are weak against plant types, so our main source of offense will be Leafy Boy. I fought some trainers and eventually told everything about what happened to my friends in excruciating detail.
Yes, he is. Wow. Wow, that was amazing.
But now, it's time for pain. Our next encounter forces us into a fight we can't back out of until we win. And of course, it just had to be the corrupted Samarine. Being a water and metal type, you'd think this would be a straightforward match. So, I led with Leafy Boy. Oh, never mind. No problem, I'll just fist Mayday. Oh, okay, guess not. Fine, I'll bring in my guy Patrick. Oh, seriously? Alright, no big deal. Shubski, what is going on? Yeah, you can already tell how that battle ended. So on the rematch, I tried a different plan, starting with Leafy Boy and setting up Sap Plant. And thanks to that, the fight turned out to be way easier. What the fuck is this? Sap Plant drains health from the target after every turn and returns it to the user. No joke, it took me a couple minutes to take it down. That wasn't so bad. Alright fellas, we've pushed through so much to get here. And now there's only one more area to explore and just a single battle theater to conquer. This is it everyone, the final stretch. Let's get into it. Alright everyone, here we are. After landing in Atlantean City with the crew, we decided to split up and gather intel. My task? Grab battle theater tickets so everyone could watch me fight in the arena. And immediately I ran into some trouble. Just as I was about to enter, guess who shows up? Meriden, the commentator for literally every battle theater. I guess he wanted to see firsthand what it was like to get his ass handed to him. But unfortunately, he was 8 levels above each of my Loomians, and I died about 15 times? Most of which were off screen, but still. Now it's time to grind. Luckily, I have an ace up my sleeve. If you go back to Sephiroth City, there's a training area made just for moments like this. The challenge there? Destroy a punching bag in 5 turns. And once you do, you can receive a protein shake, which does essentially nothing, but each time you complete the fight, every Loomian involved gets about 400 XP. So I rolled up my sleeves and got to work. And after multiple days, yes, multiple days, you can really feel the sense of finality with this one. I got everyone to level 30. So I headed back and challenged Meriden once again, and then died again. But hey, second time's the charm. And what's this? He's actually a bad guy? Like anyone cares. However, we still have a laundry list of things we need to do. Time to round up the squad. First stop, Mabel and Jake, who are apparently on a date at the mall. At least I think it was a date, honestly, I don't f***ing know, I didn't ask. We had some complications when it came to choosing an outfit for Jake, but we eventually sorted it out. I made him wear the cowboy outfit in case you're wondering. Next up was Lucy. When I found her, we stumbled upon 2 bullies harassing Avari. Lucy snapped, and suddenly I was thrown into Loomian Legacy's very first double battle. And while it wasn't difficult in the slightest, it was so fun. It's really faithful to the Pokemon games. You know what? Dap me up. Anyway, moving on, it was time to get Lucas. And this part, painful. Lucas and his big back wanted to try out our restaurant's new food, and to get that food, I had to battle the head chef. And died more times than I did with Meriden. This is going great. Normally, I'd go back to the punching bag for more XP grinding, but by this point, the poor thing had given me everything it had. I was stumped. So I searched on YouTube and found this trainer just vibing. So now I had to get my Loomians to level 40, and it didn't take too long, roughly an hour. Then I marched back into that restaurant and finally beat the chef. Victory tastes pretty good. Sorry. After a massive lore dump and way too much dialogue, it was finally time for the last battle theater. The puzzles inside were no joke, confusing as hell. I had to resort to YouTube for the last 2 just to get through. Anyway, this theater had a twist. Every fight was a double battle, which means more chaos, more casualties, and definitely more pain. The first trainer had a Merrill Merc and a Banfino, and the Banfino went down easy. Yup, the Mirror though was more resilient. So I switched out Leafy Boy for Mayday and chomped him to death. And did the same thing for the other Banfino. Yes, there were two. The second trainer led with a Somata and a fucking Deladrick.
4 big guys. And they bust on my eyes. They eat my ass just like apple.
Rest in peace, Patrick. Also, take a look at this clip.
Oh, okay, good. He's low. Thank God. I'm about to punch this screen, bro.
After that disaster, I switched tactics and sent Mayday after Deladrix. Thankfully, it dropped quickly and Somata didn't last much longer. But then came Garlash. Of course, Mayday died. Big surprise. So Schweppes and Leafy Boy just jumped him. The final round was against... Who the f is this? Shimmer and Shine? The first pair was Tsukami and Lumelo, both of which weren't too difficult. Aside from Coca-Cola dying, I did not foresee that. Their replacements were Cleone and Jalusa. The good news, Jalusa only had light-type moves which couldn't touch Leafy Boy. The bad news, Schweppes didn't make it. I was down to my last line of defense, but in a wild stroke of luck, I one-shotted Cleone. That left Jalusa, who literally couldn't hurt me. Victory was mine. I got a new app on my watch, my friends cheered me on, and just like that, I walked out on top. Nice. After that whole ordeal, me and the squad got invited to a non-gajillionaire's mansion. Fancy dinner, rich guy vibes, the usual, you know how it be. At some point I had another double battle with my friends. Easy win. Then I fought a corrupted pet. It fought an instant. And out of nowhere, Meriden back. Me and Jake fought 2 different double battles and came out on top twice. And now it's time to go underwater. Our run out of trench is complicated. On paper, you got a plant type to help out, but most of the Loomians down here are dual type. And unfortunately, some of those combos hit our biggest weaknesses, so I played it safe while exploring the ocean, searching for Dr. Vanta. Between the guards, trainers, and general underwater bullshit, there were plenty of double battles, which at least meant grinding was faster than usual. We eventually landed in the Lost City, and I just want to say shout out to this guy. This is a funny little joke. Caught up to Dr. Vanta in his hood, and Jake and I had to tag team another battle. Because, you know, we just go way back.
Mike and I met long ago. Our first kiss was magic.
Even though he was throwing, we still won. The second time, that is, we got destroyed the first time around. And this next part, well, let's just say it gets complicated. The Mad Doctor had finally lost his patience. His breaking point was here, and so was the final fight. Dr. Bandor Vanta. But the thing is, this fight is brutal. Vanta has 5 Loomians, and they're pretty powerful. So we need a plan. Because I died the first time. Alright everyone, gather around. All 5 of you have done so much, and now we need to put our skills to good use. Here's the plan. First up, Tyrex, Earth and Metal type. Coca-Cola, you're leading. Yeah, his Earth moves are scary, and his terrifying ability nerfs your melee attack right from the jump, but listen, you're stronger than his steel. Bait him into using his biggest move, let the recoil hit him, and then finish the job. Got it? Good. His next Loomian is Samarine, and we've already faced a corrupted version of the same guy. So Leafy Boy, you know what to do. Third, Cosmore, Ancient and Mind type. Lucky for us, Mind is weak to blood, but we need speed. Speed kills here. Schweppes, that's on you. Hit him with Pharaoh Blast, then, well, let's be real, you're probably going down, but hey, if you ain't fast, you're finishing last. Right, Schweppes? He's not very talkative. Vanta's 4th Loomian is a Protodon, and again, we faced this kind before. Coca-Cola can handle it. You can handle it, right? And finally, Stratosaur, a true threat. The plan is simple. Drain its energy, chip it down, and set up the kill. Mayday, open with your Brawler move. Poison's off the table thanks to Toxic Filter, so Patrick, just hit it as hard as you can. Coca-Cola, you're basically useless here, but you've still got one job. Ram that thing with everything you got. Take off as much as possible. By then, it'll be battered, low on energy, and that's when Leafy Boy steps in to blast the Stratosaur to smithereens. That's the plan. That's the path to victory. Hands in, everybody. Go Bugs! Anyway, that's how I beat Vanta. And just like that, the bug type only challenge in Lumia Legacy is complete. Sure, we lost a few beloved comrades along the way, fallen heroes who gave their all. But at the end, victory is ours. There's definitely some important story context that I'm just glossing over right now. But who cares about that? We're just here for the bugs. So, now what? As difficult as some parts were during this challenge, it ended up being a really fun experience. This took me roughly a week. I feel like bug types are the most accessible type of Loomian in the game currently. Does anyone even know what a mind type is? So this challenge was kind of a no-brainer. We started with a bunch of weak little bugs and somehow crawled our way to victory. I didn't think we'd make it this far. Not with all the double battles, random deaths, and questionable decisions along the way. But hey, turns out bugs are a lot tougher than they look. There are 3 important lessons that I've learned over the course of this challenge. 1, we did not need to get Vari, that was a waste of time. 2, I need to get different whoosh sound effects. And 3, anything is possible, as long as you have nasty ass bugs on your side. I've been in love with this game since it dropped in 2019, And it always saddens me seeing games like Bronze Forever do exactly what Brick Bonds did all those years ago and get off scot-free. Meanwhile, Llama Train Studio has to deal with a rebrand and currently a dwindling player base. I guess Nintendo was too busy robbing people, so I decided to shed some light on it with this challenge. If you made it all the way here, thank you. Comment down below if you want to see me try another challenge. Anyway, that's all for me. Until next time, stay splashy. I'm gonna kill myself.